Well, there was a storm front downtown all weekend long that came to a head on Sunday afternoon. As we welcome in Matt Melzak, the voice of the Walleye. And Matt, we saw the Toledo Storm jerseys both Saturday and Sunday, and boy, they needed a big win on Sunday, and that's what they got, 9 goals.
You know what? It looked like the old Toledo Storm in the barn. I think Simone D and I said the same thing on the broadcast. Boy, this feels like an old Toledo Storm. You know, they get rolling, the small barn, they just all over you. They, throw up a huge number. You remember back in those days when they were winning the Riley Cups. I mean, the best goals against average for a lot of goaltenders was 3.5 back in those days. Now, if you're 3.5, people are starting to go, well, but I mean, it just felt like an old Toledo Storm game the way it was going. And then, seeing Brandon Hawkins doing churning the butter there, it was awesome. So what a fun experience, and it brought back a lot of memories, not only for me, but for a lot of fans, and that was really cool.
And they needed that goal outburst. 9 goals in the game on Sunday. The previous 4 games, all losses, combined 5 goals, if I'm doing the math correctly. So they needed that outburst. It was a long time coming. It was good to see.
And sometimes this is when you catch things in the schedule, and we've talked about this before, and sometimes you've asked me, boy, Toledo didn't look good in this situation. Well, sometimes the schedule plays into that. Cincinnati's at the end of a 4 and 5. They're down to 8 actual forwards going into the game. Every team goes through it at some point during the year where it just feels like no matter what you do, you're in trouble going into the game, and you have to have either your goaltender has to play unbelievable, or you have to get a lot of breaks to help you along when you're in that situation. But Toledo did what they needed to do. They got into the second period, still 2-0. They had those 2 back-to-back goals, 13 seconds apart, made it 4-0. And then the game really opened up at that point. And Toledo's so good offensively that if you're not super sound all the time, they're going to have an explosion like this.
Sunday, the cherry on the top of a fantastic weekend. Not only the Toledo Hockey Hall of Fame, but the Toledo Storm celebrations. What was your favorite memory this past weekend?
You know what? It's so hard to pinpoint down to maybe a moment or two, but I thought one of the really moments that hit me was when Rick Judson, who I know very well, is on our broadcast team, hasn't been able to get back into the booth yet, but hopefully we'll see him back at some point, hopefully this season, to join us in the broadcast booth. But to see him walk out on the ice, and actually I'd seen him earlier at a luncheon we had with the players and the former players for the Toledo Storm that were in town, and the Hockey Hall of Famers. But to see him walk out onto the ice and the standing ovation that he got from over 80, almost 8,200 people in the building was a really special moment. Kind of brought some tears to my eyes, knowing him as well as I have now over the years. And, just happy to see him and to know that we still have him around, because that was a tough accident and he is making his way back. Major thumbs up to him on that.
Yeah, you weren't the only one with tears in your eyes on Saturday night when Juddy came out on the ice. This weekend, Walleye back at home, 3 games against the Norfolk Admirals, and Toledo has never lost in regulation to Norfolk.
They have not. 7-0-1 against the Norfolk Admirals. So yes, that is a team where they've done very well. They went there last year, won 3 consecutive games down in Virginia, so going to get 3 in a row here. But this is a different Norfolk team. This year, it's a team that's second in their division. They're playing good hockey. They've been through a couple of teams in the Central Division and done fine. So it's going to be an interesting weekend for sure. You got the Star Wars night going on Friday night. You got the Paws and Pucks night on Sunday. So it's going to be a fun weekend, and we expect to have basically sellout crowds for all 3. So plan ahead. ToledoWalleye.com.
Yeah, with Friday wearing the Mandalorian jerseys, we'll find out if the Walleye will find the way forward. Matt Melzak, thank you so much.
I like the way you moved that in there, Mark. Thank you.